Welcome to the Museum of Illusions. My name is Robert. Please have fun and take as many photos as you can. This is the first piece of exhibit we have in our museum. It's known as the Moya sculpture, made up of two pieces of glass, one that goes clockwise and the other one that goes anti-clockwise to form the Moya's pattern. It has a sensor there. I'll touch the sensor and the motion will start. This is the illusion here. Here, we have the infinity room. The infinity room is made up of 6 mirrors all around, whereby when you go inside this room, you'll have an infinite of your own self. Here now, we have the tricky stick or the tricky rod. With the tricky rod, basically I love asking a question concerning this exhibit. This rod is straight, yes, but I love asking a question. Do you believe that this rod is going to pass through this space? A lot of people love saying no, but basically yes, it goes through this space. And why does this happen? This happens because this rod, despite the fact that it's straight, it is bent at 45 degrees angle and it's not at the center, it's at the side. That makes it possible for it to go around. Next, here we have the dancing rings. Once I rotate them, they seem to look like they're dancing and they're overlapping over each other, but basically they ain't dancing or overlapping over each other. They're all joined at one point. Here, here, and here. On this other side, we have the ambiguous arrow. With the ambiguous arrow, one side here is pointing right and the other side is pointing left. We normally love telling our clients to try and change directions of these two arrows. This one that is pointing left and that one that is pointing right. So they try rotating and they can never change sides at the end of it all because it's an ambiguous arrow. On this other side, we have the moving image. Try to move left and right and tell me if this image is moving. Of course, yes, it's moving, but once you come closer to it and touch it, it's not a flat surface, but it's a 3D structure, whereby this middle part that was looking like a corridor from behind is basically protruded outside. On this other side, we have the Master of Numbers. With the Master of Numbers, our eyes, now here we get into the way our eyes have been made. Our eyes have been made in such a manner when you look at something, you focus on one thing at a time. But the camera has a compound eye whereby the camera focuses on everything on this image, and basically through the camera you'll have to see or get to see that this is a face of someone, Albert Einstein. On this other side, we have the cloning table. With the cloning table, basically, it's a table where you can sit down and have a meeting with your own self. You call yourself a meeting in this table. You can talk to this one, you can talk to that one, you can talk to him, you can talk to this one, and you can talk to this one at the same time. Basically, that's the concept behind the cloning table. We move. This other side, we have the floating circle. With the floating circle, again, we get back into our eyes. Our eyes basically can't capture this because our eyes ain't compound eyes. But with the camera, try move it up and down, and you'll see the illusion here that this circle basically it's floating. On this other side, we have the Fraser spiral. With the Fraser spiral, you tend to blink faster, and then you'll tend to see that these black lines or white lines tend to form a complete spiral from underneath when you blink faster and looking at the image. But once you come close and you stop blinking and look at this image, you'll tend to realize that there is no any complete Fraser spiral here, because all these lines, once they appear, that's the end of it. They don't join the next white line or the black line in the front. That's all about the Fraser spiral. On this other side, you have the grid illusion. With the grid illusion, basically this applies to the human eye only. The camera can't see this. Where you focus, you'll only see white dots, but the other side that is defocused remains to be black. That's the grid illusion. On this other side, we have the building illusion. With the building illusion, this is a balcony whereby people tend to look like they're falling from a balcony. But basically, it's not like they're falling, because what is going on here, the balcony is on the ground, people tend to lie on the ground, and then we capture the image that is being reflected with that special mirror at the top. So look at me, once I step inside this building illusion, and then I do this, it's like I'm falling, but basically I'm just lying down. When I turn again and do this, the same concept, but I'm just lying, I'm seated down. That's the concept of the building illusion. Here, we have the spinning discs. Basically, there's not much concerning the spinning disc, but once you get closer to these discs, with the first one, you'll tend to see like it's trying to bring you in or move you in. The other one here forms something like a ball, or the white ball. You might tend to see like the white ball is not really spinning, but the white ball is spinning. Same concept to this one. On this other side, we have the gestural illusion. With the gestural illusion, easy. This one and this one, do they really look of the same size? A lot of people love saying that no, they don't look of the same size. But you'll be surprised to see that they are, of course, of the same size. There. There, it fits very well. And once you go down, it becomes bigger. Once you take it up, it becomes smaller. This concept that is being used here, it's all about distancing. Next here, we have shepherd boxes. Same concept as that one, distancing. Check this out. You might think that this one and this one are not of the same size, but once you measure, they're basically of the same size. There, same concept. Here now we are out of distancing, now we get into mind perspective. Mind perspective, you might think that this blue line is longer than this one, but you'll be surprised. This blue line and this blue line are basically of the same size. Let's measure. There. And we move. Same size. Basically, our mind here is the only thing that is trying to communicate to us. Mind perspective. Because of these two arrows that are pointing out, our mind will tend to tell us that this blue line is bigger or larger or longer than this one, because this one is encurved in between two arrows that are facing inwards. This is mind perspective. Now we move to the angle illusion. With the angle illusion, basically same concept as the first two, shepherd boxes and gestural illusion. It's all about distancing. You might think that this one is bigger than this one, but this one is this one is bigger than this one, but they are all of the same size. It's all about distancing. On this other side, we have the following eyes. You need to just go past this lady and see if she's following you. Here, we have the Moyer's triangle. Same concept as the other one that was at the entrance, but this one is a little bit different because it's only one mirror or only one glass that is rotating. The other one at the back is a white board that is static, it's not moving. And when you rotate this one, that is the only one that is moving, it forms the patterns that you see underneath. Now we move to the layer illusions. The layer illusion basically is formed with 7 glasses. You can confirm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7. And with our bare eyes, we cannot view this, but the camera will basically see what is happening here because the camera has compound eyes. It's basically half face of a human being. We have the eye here. This is the eye. We have the mouth, we have the nose, the entire cheek. So it's a half face. Okay? All right. So now we get here to the kinegram. The kinegram, originally, this is the concept that they used to start filming. Because what is a video? A video is pictures in motion. And originally, this board or this white board with this black art underneath is static, it's not moving. And we said a video is pictures in motion. This black board that has stripes represent our pictures. The stripes here represents our still photos. So we want to make these still photos be a video by moving them. See this. The kinegram. Originally, this is the start of filming. So we get to this other side, the tricky spiral. With the tricky spiral, this is the same concept as the dancing rings. You might tend to see like it's a ring that is coming up and going in, but basically it's just one ring or just one thing that forms a spiral going round, round, and round. And then on this other side, we have the kaleidoscope. With the kaleidoscope, one need to stand on this other end and pop in. You'll tend to see so many places of me all around inside this kaleidoscope. This is all about this kaleidoscope. We move. With the symmetry room, this is all what happens inside this room. Look at this. You might think that I'm using 2 legs, but you'll be surprised I'm just using one of my leg and one hand to do all this. And I can still go up and down. That's all about the symmetry room. Thank you. With the columns illusion, basically it has the same concept with the layers illusion, but the difference from the column illusion is the column illusion basically comes from the concept of the way we read. We read sentences, and a sentence is a combination of words, and words are a combination of alphabets. So this illusion has been driven from the way we read because they combine the columns to form a picture or a face of a man. Once you move to the other side, it changes from the man to a lady. There we go. Here we have the clone room. I'll enter this room. It acts the same way as the clone table, and I'll have cloned myself. We will be 6 of us. It's me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Here we are. This is all about the clone room. Next, we have the magic box. Look into the magic box, and you might tend to see that this side we have floating cubes, and this other side we have floating pyramids. It changed again. On this other side, we have the tilted room. Basically, it tampers with your balance system inside this room. You will tend to feel a little bit woozy because your balance system really struggles with trying to intercept what's happening inside here. So it's curved, but your balance from outside, you're standing on a flat surface, but once you enter inside this room, it's curved. We have the Bouger chair. With the Bouger chair, basically, it's a chair whereby someone has to sit on the other side, and when I do this, we tend to be like, she tends to look tiny. So this is what happens at the Bouger chair. Basically, we are of the same size, but as we speak now, she's too tiny. In fact, I'm holding her head. This is all about the chair. Nice, so we move. Then now, on this other side, we have the amaze room. With the amaze room, basically, this room has been used in sets to shoot movies, whereby we have giants and then normal people in the same set. What happens here inside, come? Why did I say we have giants and tiny people in the same set? Look at this room. One end, I'm so close to the ceiling, and this other end, the ceiling is way far from me. So the concept of this room, the one who will be standing at that corner where the ceiling is way much closer to him or her is the giant, and the one who is standing on this other corner, whereby the ceiling is way far from him or her, is the tiny person. That's all about the amaze room. All right. On this other side, we have the head on a platter. This is the way in. I'll basically go through here. This is me on this other side. This is all about the head on a platter. So here now we have the Penrose Y. With the Penrose Y, when you look at this image, you might think that it's flat at an angle, but when you move left or right, this image changes. But you'll be surprised once you go close to it. It ain't a flat surface, but these are Ys. In large, it's just a pen. That is why it's known as a Penrose Y. So our journey continues here. Now we go downstairs. The first room we have here downstairs is the brain gym. This is the brain gym. Basically here you put your brains into some little workout inside this room. Here we have the escape. On this other side we have the Hanoi Tower. On this other side we have switch 8 or switch 10. And then here we have small games or minor games, I call them minor games, that also have manuals on the tables for you to use them to solve them. Here we have the color room. Once I step inside this room, my shadow is black. And when they blend now with my shadow, which is black, this is what is formed here. Anyone who comes inside this room should not go too close to the wall, for he or she is going to miss the illusion of this room. So you need to step back a little bit off the wall for you to capture these 3 shadows of your own self. Next, we have the magic prism. With the magic prism, here inside, we have an LED square, right? But you'll be surprised once you tend to zoom out. It now comes from being an LED square to a sphere. Look at this now. On this other side, we have the hollow faces. With the hollow faces, when you move, he moves with you. Any of the faces, the ones on the top, the ones here at the middle, and even the ones at the bottom side. When you move, he moves with you. But you'll be surprised, these faces are hollow, they're inverted. It's only that the eyes are the ones that are in normal manner. That is why when you move, it tends to look like he's following you all the way. Same concept even when you go to this other side. And then here now, we have the vortex tunnel. Inside this tunnel here, your eyes and your balance system won't communicate the same thing. Why? Your balance system knows that you're standing on a tunnel or you're walking on a tunnel, but your eyes will tend to look at the environment. The environment or the surrounding of this tunnel is rotating, which will make you feel like you're falling. So your balance system will your eyes will tend to talk to your balance system like we are not really standing or walking on a tunnel, but this tunnel is basically rotating. And that is when you start feeling it's like you're kind of falling or you're tripping. So come to the room. This is the tunnel and I'm going in now. It's easy to walk through it. So you just have to walk, observing the environment, and not going through it fast will be easy, but so this is what basically happens to people when they go through this. Whoa. Yeah, that's all about that tunnel. And then here we have the mirage. With the mirage, basically this is a floating image. It's there, let me try and touch it. Yo, what's up? I can't touch it. Can't touch it, but you'll be surprised. It's in here. And then here we have the infinity tunnel. So you'll be surprised. This is the depth of this tunnel. So let me explain what is happening here and why do we tend to see this tunnel going deep and deep and deep. So what is happening here, this reflection that we saw here, or the reflection that this first mirror, we say this is a one-way mirror, this first mirror that sees here bounces to the reflection that the other one is seeing on the other end, and they keep bouncing back at each other. Now here we have the infinity portal. With the infinity portal, we also love asking people how deep this tunnel is. They tend to tell us that this portal is very deep, but you'll be surprised that this portal basically goes up to this floor. It doesn't go past the floor. Then here we have the infinity dodecahedral. With the infinity dodecahedral, it has 12 sides and it's endless. Same concept as the infinity tunnel, infinity portal. It goes and goes and goes and goes there. We have the RGB room. With the RGB room, basically it has 3 types of colors. We have this is the normal color. Then we have the red color. It changes again to green. Then we also have the blue light. So what is happening here? Once the light changes, this is the normal color or the normal lighting. Once the light changes, the art on the wall changes. Now once it's red, we have Nairobi. When it gets to green, we have the cubes. Blue, we have the spirals and the cubes. That's all concerning the RGB room. Then here we have the zoetrope. With the zoetrope, basically you might think that this zoetrope is moving, but you'd be surprised that the motion that you're seeing there is just an illusion, because whatever that is making it look like it's moving too fast is this flashlight. Once the flashlight flashes at a higher speed, the zoetrope moves at a higher speed. Once the flashlight flashes at a lower speed, the zoetrope moves at a lower speed. And then on this other side, we have the reversed room. You enter inside this matatu, pose for a picture inside this matatu. You can decide to sit, then take a photo inside this matatu and go to edit, flip it. I look like I'm sitting on top or I'm sitting at the ceiling of a matatu. You can also decide to lie down, and same concept applies. I lie down, I lift my hands, take a photo from this angle, take a photo inside this room, go to edit, flip it. I look like I'm lying inside or at the top of a ceiling of a matatu. That's all concerning the reversed room. We get into the last exhibits of our museum. We have number 1, the impossible triangle. So people tend to count like we have one. It's not a complete triangle. A lot of people tend to say we have like 1 or 2 or 3 triangles, but basically this is the only complete triangle. This other one ain't a complete triangle. Here we have a bilvet. Look at the object and count how many rods you see. People will tend to say 2, 3, but basically when you try tracing back these rods, you'll get to realize that one of them is just but an illusion, because this one, when you try and trace it back, it has no starting point. But look at this one. It comes from this corner. And also look at this one. It comes from here. So this is just an illusion. It's known as the bilvet. On this other side, we have the herring illusion. With the herring illusion, again, we get back into the concept of our mind perspective or mind setting. These 2 lines with our mind tend to look like they are curved, but you'll be surprised that these 2 blue lines are very straight. What is trying to talk to us, or our mind will tend to communicate to us that they are curved because of these lines that tend to look like they're coming outside. Here we have the Einstein illusion. With the Einstein illusion, basically, our mind always tend to intercept that they are curved because of this circle, or this circle that this square is inside. Look at this circle that comes It touches every line at the center. And that is why our mind will tend to incept or intercept that these blue lines are curved at the center, but they're very straight. We have the hypertonic vibes. Again, this one basically tends to plays with your eye. Once you move in, you tend to see like it's pulling you in. Once you go out, it tends to look like it's going in. This is all about the hypertonic vibes. And then lastly, back to reality. And that was the tour of the Museum of Illusions.